So they did that. The public-private partnership began, and Payne Field then set the stage. So the EDC passed that baton over to Payne Field because that's where Esterline was going to be. So then at that point, the EDC was still there kind of project managing, but Payne Field, they made the most sense, that they would make sure that all the decision makers were available to negotiate and execute the company and project's needs. And that's really important to not hold on so tightly to those things that someone else needs to do. Then the negotiations with Capstone Partners and Snohomish County went so smoothly that the ground lease was executed in 7 days. I mean, almost unbelievable. We were all going, really? That's happening? No, that's not going to happen. But it did. They broke ground then. They broke ground. So remember, February of 2008, now this is July of 2008, they broke ground. Construction started. It would not have happened without the close collaboration with Payne Field and the county planning and development services. You guys know those county, services. It's like, pulling teeth, a turtle, blah, blah, blah. It was like the rabbit got out of the cage and flew. And it's a hallmark of Snohomish County. It's actually a hallmark, and it really helped bring this together. The permit processes were streamlined, and I will be talking a little more in depth about some of these things in a few minutes, but there was a Corey resource fair for WorkSource. I said workforce, it's workforce and WorkSource pulled together a Corey resource fair where we went to the Corey current employees and held a fair, and it was super successful. The project was 14 months start to finish. On 9/28/2009, there was a ribbon cutting, and we had all kinds of wonderful people who came in and took credit, and it was fabulous. It was fabulous because it happened because you know what the win was. The win was that the company stayed in the state, that there were, there are metrics here. The company retained the employees in the state of Washington, 600 full-time employees, and at that time, 35 full-time, and we even have more happening now on a regular basis. That's the win. I don't care who gets their names in the neon lights. None of us really do. But when you do the right thing and you're all working together as a community, then it happens. Just think, the community that made this happen included the state, the county government, the city government, private entities, nonprofits, etc. We all made it happen, and that was a very proud day for us and continues to be. Lessons learned. I thought a quote from the Corey Esterline president would be helpful for you. Esterline is pleased to be located in Snohomish County. Each individual and organization we worked with during the relocation process was helpful and professional. Snohomish County certainly lives up to its business-friendly reputation, and we look forward to being a part of the community. When he said Snohomish County, he didn't mean necessarily the county seat, the building where the county executive lives. Yes, indeed, that was good, but it was the entire community and community of folks who wanted them to come. It certainly makes a big difference for all of the outlying cities. Alderwood Mall, where David resides, and then north of us up in Marysville, where we have the Seattle Premium Outlets. All of the people who do my nails, who do my hair, all big deal when you have 600 people plus come into your community, and we didn't lose them from the state. So what's unique and replicable of this? So what I thought was really, really cool, and we worked with Corey, what's gonna work? Because you've got 600 people who are living around. Do we really want to go up and work by Payne Field? I mean, what's the traffic going to be like? We know our transportation system on I-5. What are we gonna do? And I wanted to mention that I got myself wrangled in to working on Transportation 2040 for the Prosperity Partnership, and Marlena and myself and Dan Fay, wherever Dan is at, we are on the Economic Development District Board for Prosperity Partnership, and we work a lot on transportation, and it's scary because why would all these people want to go to Snohomish County? We used to be able to say, oh, you're driving against the traffic. Not anymore. You're driving against the traffic. So we really, do they really want to be a part of this community? Because when you commute, as you know, when you're commuting, you are in that community. for a long time. I live in Bothell. I live with my husband in Bothell. I actually live in Everett because that's where I spend most of my time at my job. What are those things that are going to make me feel welcome? So they brought the WDC and WorkSource, and all of those relationship people, partners in WorkSource, all came together, and they invited community organizations, local businesses, health clubs, banks, realtors, restaurants, school districts, on and on and on, and we took that show to Corey. And we had a fair, and they were able to get a comfort level, because what we did is we invited them to the party. And I say often, I know people in Snohomish County get sick of me saying this, but you know what? If you don't get invited to the party and you don't see what kind of cool things are going to be at the party, why would you go to the party? And so we're inviting them into our community by going out to them, not saying, oh, come up here and find out. No, we went to them. And then in addition, WorkSource provides continuous support, information on the skill sets with candidates within the WorkSource system, and certainly what they need, and we do indeed go out with our 16 folks in our business services team. We have employer fairs for selected candidates going back to, I want to say, when Tacoma Pierce was presenting, they gave a really good representation of how we do that as well. We don't have any fee-for-service in Snohomish County. We've just chosen not to do that, but we do very similar things where we get 100 people and then we screen down, and they aren't just the people who are within the database. We go out and find the folks that companies need, and we continue to do that today with Corey. So ideas for follow-up. The principal of Fouché, Britt Sloan, said Painfield and Snohomish County were extremely helpful to our team on this fast-track schedule project. Other municipalities can benchmark this project as an example of how to help the development team accelerate the project. Project is a tremendous benefit to our business climate and in keeping Washington as an attractive place to do business. I don't think that could have been said any better, but from one of the private business partners. Yeah, very short presentation for you. I will tell you that this is what the new Economic Alliance logo looks like. Troy McClellan and myself and everyone else are available. We would really like to share as we find out how this new Economic Alliance is going to work. But what I can say, the description of, it just takes the whole village for this to happen. It takes the whole village. It's so natural and so organic for us that while we do have planned, we do get together and we do a planned project here and there. As we have a project, we take what works best out of that project and then we apply it to the synergy of what we do on a daily basis. Troy and I, while we're rarely in the office, we just drop into each other's offices all the time. I have research staff, Employment Security has research staff, the colleges, those research staff and the labor market economists, they're on the phone together all the time. They're just doing that. But having the WDC and the Economic Alliance in that same building has really, really built a kind of like a cornerstone for that to happen. We have struggled in Snohomish County to have one voice in Olympia. But having said that, and we're working on that, when we are bringing in new companies, we're expanding, and we're retaining, we work together very well for the whole of the community. And so that's my story. I'm going to stick with it. And and again, they represent me. I represent them. Our board members cross-pollinate. We have board members on so many. I don't know how. We're on 3 boards together now. We're on 3 boards together now because I'm on the WEDA board now. So thank you for electing me. Appreciate it. This is what happens when somebody has a fashion design degree. and these things can happen, and it's creativity, and it's a whole lot of fun. So that's it. That's how you contact us. If there's any questions, I am happy, or comments. I know Sally may have had a comment, or maybe David, for our local area. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking, for those of you who don't know, I'm a competitive ballroom dancer, and I am designing, I have a studio at my home still, I'm designing costumes. I really think that ballroom costumes should be part of the fashion industry, and I'm also kind of thinking maybe ballroom is a niche industry, Marlena. I'm really thinking it. Yeah, and we need to look for sponsorships for dancers. Sally.
Sue, is this on?
Yeah.
I'm Sally Harris, and I'm with Commerce. I'm the regional person for Pierce County up to Whatcom County. So I work with EDCs and 4 different WDCs. So this has been a great meeting for me to understand how you work, because you all work successfully in many different ways. But with my economic development hat on, I have to tell you a little bit about Esterline Quarry. That was a $54 million project, and they moved from a site down in South Lake Union in 3 different buildings with roads between each building, and moved to a 217,000 square foot facility on Payne Field. It took CURB dollars to help that happen. They got a $2 million CURB from Commerce. And interestingly, the company, and through the WDC and the company, they only lost 3% of their workforce that didn't choose to move north. And that's amazing, because some of those folks didn't have a car, rode a bus every day to work, and lived right down there in South Lake Union. So the work that the WDC did to help them understand how to get to work or make that transition was really important. And on top of that, David Roden, who was what they called the business transformation, I think that's right, business transformation manager for this 3-year period, and that means you move 600 people, 3 buildings into a new site, get it built, get it designed, get it. He has decided to join the CURB board, which I thought was a real accolade to all the work of the WDC, the EDC, and to CURB. So had to put a little economic development numbers and investment to this this job, but thank you, Sue.
Well, thank you, and I forgot. I mean, so all those things that you do naturally, I was in the vans that went down to apply for the CURB grant and spoke at that, and it's, like I said, it's natural. It's the way we do business. It's how we do business, and it's a whole lot of fun, and it's really great to see a growing economy that we have up there. So do you have any comments, or are you just going to take over? You're going to take over? Does anybody else have? I'm here. I'm here. Okay, thank you very much.